What's up? Today, let's talk about some well-known food chains in Japan, including Marugame Udon and Ginza Cozy. Chain restaurants are super prevalent in Japan, just like they are in the US. They got chains for everything. They have ramen, they have sushi, they have everything. It's comforting to go to one because you know what exactly you're gonna get, and Japan does a pretty good job of maintaining the high quality across all its chains. It's interesting to note some of the differences you might see from a Japanese store versus an American one, even if it's the same company. Like for example, what is BK Udon on this menu? We'll discuss in a bit. If you have any questions or want to hear more, let me know. As usual, I'll be rating these places out of 5. Before we get started though, let's make lunch. I was hungry when I filmed this. Let me yap for a second. Instant ramen in America sucks. Everything tastes the same, looks the same. There's no personality, you know? Like, give me some depth and dimension. Anyways, this is an Ichiran ramen kit that I bought at the airport. I think it was like 1,000 yen for 5 servings. I also saw that they sell these kits on Amazon US, but for 29 bucks, that's just robbery. That's nuts. I had some extra chashu. Alright, so after flying back from Hokkaido to Tokyo, we hit a couple chains that I enjoy going to. Start off with Marugame Udon, or more accurately, Marugame Seimen. I guess that translates roughly to Marugame, which is the name, and then noodle manufacturing. So Marugame Noodle Manufacturer. Now they do have a couple spots including Texas, California, and even Hawaii. But for those who may not know, let me explain it to you. Think of like your favorite fast casual place, whether that be like a Chipotle or like a Blaze Pizza. You go up to the counter, you order whatever you want on your pizza or burrito or whatever it may be. Marugame Seimen is like that, except that it's udon instead of like a Chipotle bowl. They have all different kinds of udon, they have all different kinds of tempura that you can put on the side. They have onigiri, which is rice balls. They make the noodles in-house, so you know it's fresh and it's got that chewy texture that you can't really replicate from noodles at home or from the noodles that you buy from the grocery store, unless you buy the frozen ones, like these. These kind of have good texture. If you get the dried noodles, then you're not gonna compare it to Marugame. This time, my cousin picked it up for us, so that's why it's in the takeout containers, you see. But the quality is still there. I always try to go at least once whenever I go back to Japan. If you're lucky enough to have a location by you, which in the East Coast we do not, please make one. Go check it out if you haven't already. I got the Niku Udon for 790 yen, which comes out to around $5.24. It's some sweet beef, it's cooked onions, it's chopped scallions, some tempura bits on there for texture. It's served with a cold broth that's poured all over it. Now, this is called a Niku Bukkake Udon. Here's some knowledge for you. You ever hear of the term bukkake? If you're not familiar, don't look it up, but it's a Japanese word used to describe something being poured on top of something else. Kakeru is the action of pouring something, and bu, the prefix bu, emphasizes the action. So when you pour broth over your udon, it's called a bukkake udon. And this came before the other definition. So cleanse your brain and get cultured. If you ever go to a US Marugame location and you see BK Udon on the menu, this is where that comes from. They didn't want to call it bukkake udon for PR reasons. I rate Marugame a 3.3 out of 5. Because it was takeout, it wasn't the freshest tempura, it wasn't the freshest noodles, and I think part of the experience comes from watching them assemble your food right in front of you, like they do at Chipotle or Blaze or whatever. But this is a solid meal at a really good price. If there is one by you, or you happen to stumble upon a location, you gotta go. Alright, what's for dessert, you say? We have Ginza Cozy. This is a snack and confectionery chain with more than 400 locations all over Japan. They tend to be located right by the train stations. And as you know, Japan is a country that runs on trains. The train stations tend to be the center of town and like the hub for the area. Lots of shops, lots of restaurants, lots of activity going on around the train stations. So Ginza Cozy is what its name is intended to be. It's a comfortable and relaxing place for people to get their sweet treat. There are lots of different products, from cream puffs to little tarts to pudding. In this case, we were preparing for some light lunch with the family, so we got some little cakes and some cream puffs. It's good and it's reliable. I had their setouchi lemon, which is a lemon that's famous in Japan. It comes from a certain place called Setouchi. and it was solid. It was so solid. The outside wasn't the crispiest because it's been sitting in a plastic bag for I don't know how long, and the outside kind of softens up, but that's to be expected, you know? I rate this a 3.1 out of 5. It's a solid dessert, and it cost this much money. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. I think you can find a pattern here. You can find really decent food in Japan, whether that be snacks or meals, for a very reasonable price. That's also one of the reasons why people like chains so much, right? These places are able to keep their prices down because of the support of the parent company and because of mass manufacturing. That's a little bit about some chains that I enjoy going to whenever I visit Japan. Japan has so many different chain spots that are always going to be there for you and for me. And I'm glad to see that some places like Ichiran have made it out to the US. Hopefully, this wave continues and we can all appreciate good Japanese food together more easily. Thanks for coming. And as always, everybody eats.